Hello snowboarders of the internet, I am your host TC and today I will be reviewing the Roam Party Mod. This board is equipped with Roam's contact rocker camber profile, so what that means is it's going to be flat in between the feet, and then on the nose and the tail you're going to have a slight rocker up there. So what that does is it's going to give you stability in between your feet and then help with float and ease of entry in and out of turns, along with helping buttering and pressing on rails as well. This board comes in a 153, a 156, a 157 wide, and a 159. I rode this board at Copper Mountain where it was a warm sunny day all day. The snow was nice and soft, but it's still fast in the morning. Towards the end of the day, it did get pretty wet and slow, so there was that to keep in mind, but overall the groomers stayed perfect all day since the mountain was empty and I used my Ride Fuse boots and Jones Mercury bindings. When we're talking flex, this thing definitely feels like a skateboard where the nose and the tail are definitely going to be soft, where the middle section is still going to be softer than the middle of the road, and when you torsionally flex it, it's going to match that middle stiffness as well. Now, how that translates over into stability is it is going to be a lively board for sure. It doesn't handle all those push piles and that wet snow that builds up too well, where it's getting bounced around, skipping over it, that sort of thing. Not super stable. When you do get it on those smooth groomers though, it does track really straight and nice and smooth, so you're not feeling all of those crazy micro vibrations come through the board or anything like that. I would recommend loading this thing up like a skateboard where you're gonna pop off of this back foot more than you're gonna use that tail. Since the tail does have so much rocker on it, it's not gonna provide that much spring to it. All of it's gonna come from this flat section underfoot. Now that does translate over into the jump section where I would keep it to those medium-sized jumps. It does feel a little bit loose when you're coming in too fast, that sort of thing. But feel free to pop off the lip and not have any problems there where I didn't feel super springy or feel like it lacked off of the pop. So feel free to do that and you're gonna be just fine. When you're landing, it does set the edge really nicely, so you can take the next jump with speed and not really have to worry about it. So feel free to dig into your bag of tricks and be able to set that edge if you over rotate or under rotate, anything like that. While I have you here, make sure you like, subscribe, click that bell, and turn on those notifications so you're not missing any of the content we have coming out. This board is extremely fun to butter on. You have such a large sweet spot on the tail and the nose with it, where you can just kind of lean back and that whole rocker zone is going to engage and just hold you there without really any resistance. Now that does translate directly into the jibbing, where when you are tail pressing or nose pressing on this board, there's a slight resistance just to keep you honest, but for the most part, it really doesn't put up a fight at all. And even if you are board sliding this thing and come in a little heavy on the rail, it doesn't feel super clanky or anything like that. It absorbed that impact really well, and it felt very catch free on the rail where I didn't have to really worry about anything. This board actually carves pretty well for how soft it is. Like, it actually really surprised me. On those smooth groomers, it handled every carve really well. Those short, quick carves were fast edge to edge, really nice and nimble. On those medium and larger carves, it just felt really smooth and really dug into the snow there. Once the snow got more beat up and all those push piles started to form, it got a little bit loose, so keep that in mind. But that being said, it will still Euro carve when it's soft at a nice smooth groomer. It was super fun. I was able to keep my weight centered on this thing, and you pretty much just feel this whole board bend around, where I would definitely recommend looking down when you Euro carve, because it looks like the nose and the tail are pretty much bending around and you can just grab both of them as you're doing that Euro carve. Rider in mind, this board was made for somebody that just really wants to have fun out there. It is that party board, it is in the name. They're not going to be the most aggressive person out there or trying to be the most aggressive, but they just want to go out, have fun, butter around, hit some cruisy carves, that sort of thing. If you're looking for another way to support us, head on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. We have a great video over there getting into it really in depth. I mean, this board is as close to a skateboard as you can get, I think. Like, Rome knocked it out of the park with this one. If you have that loose, skatey surf style, this is gonna be your board. I actually enjoyed this thing a lot more than I expected to. With its profile being flat and rocker, I was like, it's gonna be kinda meh. But actually, it was fun, like just buttering around, like spinning out of presses and everything. It was a blast. I actually enjoyed this board, and if you're looking for a party board, this would be the one. Comparable boards, the K2 World Peace, the Public Display, the Capita Ultrafear. Recommended bindings, the Rome Katana, the Union Ultra, and the Salomon Hologram. This has been my review of the Rome Party Mod. If this sounds like the board for you, but you still need to do a little bit more research, why don't you go check out one of the reviews for the comparable boards we have.